be rude. No, like we were just thinking about, we were going through and talking to EasyMac a little bit about where they are, like historically, with this 0-9 stretch, and like there was the attached rocker team back in Cold War, was like 13 was the most we found. You had the 12 for EG. You had an 0-7 stretch for rocker. Last title, like. There's been a lot of bad stretches. This is amongst the worst, bro.
Yeah, well, Monster Energy pregame said 12 straight losses, so it has been even worse than throughout this stage, going back to the major. But we'll see when we get there. We have a Karachi hardpoint to start. Yeah, I mean, Ultra's best map, their bread and butter, 9-2 on the year. On the opposite side, Boston Breach 3-6. But I will say, this Breach team, no matter the roster, no matter if they have a sub, they have played teams close in respawn.
Oh, it's 12 with the search in the majors.
That's what that card said.
I had just looked at the stage. So yeah, they're approaching maybe the worst ever then.
Yeah.
For just a stretch of search. Perfect. Well, we'll see.
Well, at least you had like a little asterisk on a couple of those maps because you had a sub. I'll allow that.
That's true. That's true.
But it's not good, Clint.
No, it is not good. But we'll get into the action. I think I do. I mean, I agree with what Ant's saying. Like, there's upset potential. Like, that's the thing. Like, even back with like that EG team I mentioned, like they had flashes and respawn where you knew they could be good. They just couldn't win a search and destroy, so it held them back. Once things started to click for that team, they went on and won champs. Not obviously not the same scenario here, but if they improve in search, Joe, they are a threat to beat a lot of teams.
No, they are. Yeah, I mean, we just saw it last week. You know, even with Shawnee, like they have been a solid hardpoint team. Snoopy has been fantastic. Now you have Beans back in the lineup. Pentagram been filling in well, but so far throughout this map one over towards P2, it's been all Toronto Ultra in this hill. Boston Breach is trying to keep junkyard spawns for our P3 rotation. And on the other side for Ultra, you're going into your home major. You're 4-1, it looks great. You just really haven't beaten any of the top four, right? As Beans is gonna find a double and get on the hill.
Yeah, you and I were chatting like briefly before we started this, and we don't know with Ultra. Like, no matter how well they looked in this online stage, based on like how low they've looked and how good they looked in stage one, until we get to the major, I don't know. Yeah, once we get to the major, we'll see how they look.
And then one thing maybe you're looking for if you're an Ultra fan, maybe just some consistency in respawn from that guy at number 2. That's Envoy. 1-5 start here. He's been struggling in hardpoint and control, getting going in search. But on rotation, Snoopy's going to find 2 and now break this setup. And this is what we're talking about. You're able to win the rotation as Boston Breach. Now you have the hill control, and Snoopy's trying to get pushed forward.
Well, he'll stop on that 3 spree, but a nice moment there. But, you know, you mentioned Envoy. I'm curious, like, from your take, you know, you were a big Thieves guy. You saw him be a beast. You saw him have stretches where he struggled. Like, why do you think he struggles at times? Where does it come from? Because this isn't the first time we've seen a bad stretch.
Yeah, I mean, he's been like, inconsistent at times on the, you know, Thieves rosters, a little bit on Huntsman. It just feels like, I don't know, when the team's not thriving, when they're trying to really figure it out, maybe he's just not focused on himself, focused on sort of the team strategies, how they want to play it. Just not on the same page. I think maybe he just gets caught in the mess as both teams just sort of breaking back and forth here of a very close game. But I think for him, he's just, I don't know, stage one, they looked so darn good fundamentally.
When the system's there and it's going well, he thrives.
Yeah, it feels like his timings are on point, and he's the type of player where if things aren't going his way, it's going to look bad.
Well, speaking of not going your way, Pentagram right now, he's 1-7, but you're basically tied. I think he'll take that because Priest is frying. He's on 4 straight. Leading the lobby with 10 right there with Kleenex. We'll hop back over to Snoopy's POV and see what maybe he is able to do as we're tied up 62-62. Still a pretty low scoring affair, but now hunting is Snoopy.
Yeah, but you'll take this all day if you are Boston Breach. Keep them off the hill. Keep right side spawns to rotate for that P5. Pentagram trying to find number 2, not able to catch Kleenex. Nice shots by Kleenex. You see number 5 and Snoopy going to be playing it safe. Ultra just wants to push up the middle of the map, so this rotation is not easy for Breach, and now the pressure will be on. As well, Envoy from 1-5 to 6-7, so he's gotten going, and there we go, able to make the read. We'll see where Priestess spawns. Should spawn up on the left side of the map, and he does. So now you have a very early first push on this break.
Yeah, it feels like when he's like ready for a fight, gun up, he does well. Just see him get caught spreading sometimes, like not gun ready. Of these past couple of weeks. We'll see if that improves. They try to make this run at their major right now, trying to get damage in. Very tough gunfight for him to find the kills. Scrap will be there to follow it up, and the guy likes to shoot lasers. Misses everything, but it's not easy one. The pop-up will work out. Kleenex will be through on the other side, and you get a little bit of space now because you also got one over by Diner. You've got a lot of control.
Well, yeah, they're a little bit worried, though, that they spawned up troop side, and they actually didn't. They all spawned up like middle of the map red. Did Boston Breach. You saw when those kills came in. And where insights spawn, they're like, uh-oh, let's watch Coop, but that doesn't happen. And now they're going to be able to take this lead. Nice win there for Envoy.
It's just how this hill is, though. Like, everyone's just spawning out like mid, diner, back alley, just like running on top of each other.
No.
So often, like.
I know there is a P5 spawn on the right side of the map, like near P3. It just is very
there?
rare.
Yeah.
No, there's one there. I've seen it a couple of times.
Yeah. It seems to be a little too rare, but lighting it up on the feed. It's Envoy. It's CleanX, 4 straight for Envoy. CleanX looks for his 4th, not able to pick it up. But as we get into our 2nd set of rotations, an important moment in the hard point, you start to live and thrive within this one. If you're Ultra, but the breaks are coming through, it's all down to Envoy. Nice little sequence there for Boston Breach. You get set up, you have somebody spawning out by P2 and Snoopy, so you're in a good spot here to bring it back.
Yeah, not going to read this, though. They're all going to spawn out. Is Toronto Ultra on their left. They thought they would be spawning up on the opposite side of the map, but they will take this. Much needed time here for Breach because it's a very good transition for Ultra from P5 into this P1, and now Insight able to find 2, trying to snap, but Snoopy is there for the double. And Pentagram, he just got his 2nd kill at the start of this hill. So you have all 3 players on 14. He's at 2. I'm sure he's putting damage in. Timing just not going his way, but now he is there on this P2 rotation.
You've said it multiple times. I think you're right. Like, Karachi hardpoint skill just comes down to being able to read the wonky ones. Because, like, when you have, like, a perfect setup and, like, you're where you really want to be, yeah, you can spawn people out and it's real logical. A second that's, like, a little bit messy, though, it's just like, spawns are going to get iffy now, boys. Will we read them properly?
Yeah, he is kind of set up for it.
Yeah.
Is Ultra able to win this rotation? I think where teams have gotten much, much better is this P2. It just feels like it was so scrappy at one point, and now it's just 40 to 50 points once you're winning these rotations. The opposite team, they're just sort of like, all right, let's just play from junk side, try to win rotation at P3 and respond.
Yeah, team's just willing to rotate a whole heck of a lot earlier and give up a lot of P1 time sometimes just to get it. But Snoopy, he's had some brilliant multi-kills.
Big time. That is big time.
And he'll get, yeah, it might turn into an extra 20 or so seconds. There's going to be another one-on-one, though. He's going to have to win that one against CleanX. He's able to do that as well. So Snoopy wins a couple of nutty fights. And then the scoreboard's like a 40-point swing.
Yeah, I'd say it's a 40-point swing. It's also where he's getting kills because the hill's up and where his teammates are. They're spawning so far across the map is Toronto Ultra. So now Snoopy trying to wrap on back, but inside junk, Envoy is here. Snoopy's on 5 in a row, but Envoy, we were talking about his respawn, and since that moment, he has stepped up. It's going to lead to the break behind the double.
Yeah, like Snoopy tries to help through mid, but he loses his fight to CleanX. So now you're inside if you were Toronto Ultra, and you're very thankful he got that time at last, because Ultra seemingly have it locked down for now, but you've got all 4 players here, and they're starting to collapse. The team kill is going to come through. The woes for Pentagram continue. Quadruple -4 and 16. I'm not trying to straight roast the guy, but it just looks odd on the scoreboard when you look at the rest of the squad.
Yeah, and that's just a huge moment there where, I mean, you're hoping that's cleaner for Boston. Great job by Ultra to break on through, but you have a chance with Snoopy's plays over towards P2 to potentially be in the lead, but it's a break there from Ultra to lead to this. But we're going to go listen to the comms from Boston Breeze. Let's go to a listening.
I'm playing there, guys. I'm playing there.
He's close up too. He's native.
It's Envoy. They're gonna be 2 third side, I think.
Yeah, milk, back milk.
Where's he? On this cap, on this cap, bro. On this cap inside and top AC.
I'm behind him, milk.
Top church. Deep sandbags, weak.
I'm just hiding back
Top
there,
church,
guys.
top AC. I'm letting come. Bottom church, next. Bottom church, back.
Deep.
Top third,
Gonna push out mid.
Top third, Envoy.
I'm coming around the right. I'm gonna swing the right.
Top third, yeah. One top third on me.
I'm showing up. He's deep right sandbags.
I'm working Coop, okay?
I'm them.
I'm working Coop. Yeah.
Long and back milk.
I don't see him.
Wait, he flanked me Coop. He's low Coop
I'll
on the
go.
arch.
Rotate you,
Look Coop on the arch.
Show me.
Taking up top. I'm gonna go. It's gonna be open. That's gonna be open.
Too old. Look for one. Okay.
No, wait through all last
Inside
time.
trap old. You look for
Yeah, I'm
2B.
top there, okay? They could be low Coop on me. Yeah, I'm holding low.
I saw it.
I can see low Coop there.
Look for
Because,
left.
yo,
Okay.
on this
They have
cap and
left.
hold. On this cap and hold.
Okay.
They played through left hard. No, you and B cut. B cut and...
One's been out. 2 minutes.
I get off for a second.
Yo, he's top top.
Barrel's weak.
I'm on to your team. And he's top balcony and barrels. Barrels is really weak. I spawn close front. I'll grab time, just focus the back. Here.
They're trying to play me the back.
Yeah, yellow card. 2. I got one inside the back. Nice. I can time.
Through the back.
Alright, I'm pushing up.
Maybe, I don't know.
Be top.
I'm in ticket.
I'm hitting middle, bro.
Could be light. I'm taking middle.
And you might want to play close to us maybe? And
Yeah, I'll be top.
I can see the back cross. They're going to be probably top.
Honestly, top.
Okay,
top.
yeah.
You know, top. flying through left again.
Yeah.
One shot, take
Yeah,
it.
what's the three endpoint?
I can push you low.
Top 3, he's gonna try. Yeah, push him back left. He crossed
I'll see
P3.
left. Let's spawn out. Let's spawn out.
Yeah.
Push back.
Always one shot from P3 and one to the back. One in the back. One
Take it.
on you, man.
Then one more.
Nice.
Nice.
Just
Check it.
Get this side, get this side.
Weak spot. Clean next.
I'm playing
So
top fire,
weak.
okay?
I'm
I'm playing top one.
I'm letting town.
Yeah, that's one.
No, last one.
Mapped out
Last
left.
one then?
Yeah.
They're gonna
I got naded. You're
Yeah,
good.
I'm last one.
Probably gonna be pretty ready.
He's top pot. He's on
No,
your left.
he's probably gonna be pretty ready. Okay,
He's not checking
Take
it.
time.
I'm in.
Yeah, he is. He's low bridge.
I'm in low.
Slow. Nothing top 3.
No one's out. He's 18 bridge.
Joe, you probably have something cool to add, but all I took from that is when Bean said back, dead, and I thought about the fact that his back's been dead.
That did happen last week, but hopefully he's feeling better, right? That's all we care about. He's back in the match now, and now you have a chance here at P1 where you're right back in the game. The pressure's on. They do such a fantastic job at P5. Kleenex gets a triple, but they recover, and now you have this setup.
You have the setup. What can you do with it? You try to rally now, down about 40. 30 to go in the hard point before the rotation comes in. Pentagram hoping to have some moments here late in the game as he's had a tough one, but still gets the win.
Gosh!
And Insight just fries him. That looked like a joke, and now Ultra's in, a chance to close this out. Not with the remaining time here, but they've got the rotation as well as things have coming off the wheels. Boston Breach in trouble.
I mean, that was your chance. You had a couple of opportunities, a big one right there. You would have tied the game up. We talk about these swings, how close Boston have played some of our top teams in Respawn. This could have been closer, but Ultra win map 1 to go 10-2 on Karachi.
You know how, remember when Krim sort of said, there was a question about gun skill, and he said, like, a lot of it's just meant to, like, know you're gonna shit on somebody, like, know you're gonna gun them, and, like, you will, like, it helps. Like, Scrap took that fight, like, I am 20 times better than Pentagram.
Oh, that was Insight.
Oh, Insight, sorry, Insight. I'm just gonna challenge and fry him and just burned him there. Woo! I know when you're like, oh, that one got you excited.
I mean, Pentagram's got the MCW. Sometimes, yeah, just a first couple of shots, the camera comes in. A close back and forth battle. I think Breach had some opportunities, but Ultra with the fundamentals. And really, it's the subs. It's 31 from Kleenex. Envoy steps on up. He's got 21. On the opposite side, yeah, it's just a rough game for Pentagram. 8 and 24. The other 3 were there, but yeah, just a tough one.
The Pentagram's like what the witches use to cast spells and stuff, right?
No idea.
Because he might need to pull that out, get a cauldron, maybe do some witchcraft, bring it back to the next map.
It could happen. Yeah, maybe so they're 1-9 and not 0-10. That would help, but you see their inside as well. 2.5 minutes on the time. He got that double there, but the rest of the map, he was just sitting on the hill.
You know, it's funny that, like, in my head, I said Scrap because in my head, that play, I'm thinking about Scrap.
Yeah, because he does that sort of stuff.
Yes, but you're right. It was Insight with the sauce, and they get the map 1 victory, and that's one's going to be painful for Boston Breach considering the search woes. So early hole in this one. Here's a breakdown about how it went, Joe.
I mean, honestly, it's a pretty back and forth game. Then you see the second P2, but that's where Snoopy breaks it up, right? Like, you split some of that time. It's 19 to 28, so it's a 9-point difference. Could have been a lot more. It's that P3 where you stay right at 136 for a couple of hills in the row. That was the moment that Breach had. And then over towards the end of the game there at that P1. So they had their opportunities, but yeah, sometimes you can't allow a team to break because they'll put you in the blender.
Yeah, those situations are tough because, like, you know, when Snoopy wins those fights, right, Diner? The rest of his 3 teammates had hard committed to the rotation. And, like, you got to take those 20 seconds. You can't just rotate and help, but, like, you have to trust your 3 to hold because you're probably going to be in a 3 versus 4. It is what it is, but you should have the headies. You should have the setup, but they don't hold, and things kind of fall apart before he's able to get there.
No, I even think there was another player that went, so it was like a 3-on-3. But yeah, it can be tough. It gives them time.
Yeah, no, because Snoopy got in a gunfight, yeah, so it was a 3-on-3.
But it is with 15 seconds, and Ultra can take their time, double team somebody on rotation. It is a tough spot, but it's what you practice for.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, practice, have they been getting any insertion destroy? I'm not entirely sure. You get Beans back. Not that it was better or worse without him. They didn't win with or without. It hasn't really changed, but maybe, I don't know, vibe thing, you get your guy back, you get the squad that you wanted to have, you didn't get to enjoy much time, but that was just game 5 pain, and now you have a matchup that's going to be so tough here versus Ultra. Did they need to win that map 1? Like, you put a lot of pressure. You have to with, like, the way the search.
I mean, I think, listen, their best game mode this stage has been control. So I think we could go to a game 4. That was Karachi. That was Ultra's bread and butter. It's just, can they get to the back half of the series or not? That's really the question for me.
The back jokes. But we take a look at the players here. Smiles mostly up right now for Toronto Ultra. They should, well, I mean, vibing in the sense they have a major around the corner, and that's going to be awesome. But obviously haven't enjoyed maybe the success you saw early on this title. Is it starting to remind you just a little bit of New York last year?
Yeah, a bit. Sort of this up and down.
Dominated, now it's figuring it out.
Figuring it out, getting back on the same page. And look, the reason is like they're 4-1, but what everyone remembers is the 3-0 by FaZe, where they just got slammed, right? And that is the question. That the 2 targets for a team like Ultra are Optic and FaZe.
Well, I do think that FaZe has kind of skewed the conversation when we're talking about some of the top teams right now, because they've just been beating top teams like they're
the only team that's beat Optic is FaZe, though, too, right?
Yeah. No, it's kind of a crazy dynamic right now that we've got going on, even amongst the quote-unquote top 4, but breakdown. Before we get into it now, we hop right into the search and destroy. We'll see if Boston Breach can end this 0-9 skid in the qualifier, but I guess 0-12 stretch overall if you include the major. Desperately looking for some success here, and it looks like we're going to have maybe a retake scenario, but number 2 in Envoy, a chance to be the playmaker on the other side of it, and he wins his gunfight. So this really makes the Breach setup have to turn its heads.
Oh, but Priest is going to catch Klunex on the bomb. And now behind the smoke, they're going to get aggressive, and I love that play, the retake from Snoopy and Pentagram. So behind Envoy's first blood, and honestly, like, that is what he does. I love sort of seeing him playing that lurk roaming role. It's what he was known for so long, just finding those openings in those first bloods, but his teammates get taken down when he rotates back.
Well, no, I think that's what you had to do there if you're Breach. Like, you're worried, Zombo going to hit the flank. Is he going to wrap back, like, apply pressure before he's able to make a play? And they did that. By the time he gets back, they'd already made some noise. They get the kills. They'll be able to get the defuse, but, I mean, really, it's just Priest's kind of answer and then the ability to get aggressive while Envoy still out of the play. I mean, he knew where he was.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Klunex there, if he has his smoke, can get that bomb down. Just a nice angle. Maybe he can switch up that plant angle so he doesn't get caught from there. But I think he's just worried about middle of the map. So nobody looking over him. They were ready for that mid take, but as soon as he dies planting that bomb, it was wide open for Breach to just use their numbers on that side of the map.
But a nice 3v4 win for a team that's been struggling, obviously, in the mode. So good stuff so far. Unfortunately, though, 1 round does not mean a search and destroy victory, so we'll need 5 more. And it's really just been they've had some great starts. They've been up a 4-0 in a surge. It's just been the ice late has been the problem.
Yeah, even on this map, I think they've had like a round 11. They've gone deep. Yeah. Like they're 0-2 on 6-star Ultra. This is their first time playing in a match. So again, a team working on their map pool in search and destroy for the major.
And so Anthony, I kind of said on the desk, like both searches, kind of them working on stuff where they've been struggling there as well. Now they get to work on a 4-on-4 retake and now a live atmosphere. See if Boston Breach can hold some tags in and a first blood. Pentagram, Priesta, light it up, Scrap, Kleenex, bringing it back. 2 versus 2, 30 on the clock. Some nice damage into Kleenex there with the nade, so they know his position. They're going to send it behind that. Down to a 1 versus 1. Kleenex able to win it, and he's putting some extra love sauce there. The player's face, I believe. I don't know if I can say that on broadcast.
Well, I think he was just like working out. He was doing squats.
Yes.
Light day. He doesn't skip light day in Canada.
There you go, Joe. Thanks for being a consummate professional.
But your way works. But Ultra, nice retake there. And then into that 2-on-2, you know, you lose bomb site control, but you saw Snoopy loading the nade up, and they were just going to go. Because they could be on the defuse, trying to use that nade damage as an advantage to sprint on forward. They had it. But Kleenex, a nice reposition for the W.
So what? I mean, it's a 3v4 for Breach to start. I guess technically a 2v4 you'd say for Ultra, even though it was kind of chaotic there. But first 2 did go to Breach. You brought it back, but this time the Hammer of God's coming on forward. Ultras want to get aggressive. They send it. They fry Snoopy. And a whole lot of trouble just inside of a smoke. And, well, as a nade hits, his position's given up, and they fly like a flock of seagulls.
They sure do. And that's what you're going to see on this map, right? It's a lot of retakes, and on the opposite side, it's sort of, do you want to play for middle? Do you want to 4-stack one site? They opt for the 4-stack on defense. The problem is it was an A-hit for Toronto Ultra, and they just go. Fight fire with a lot more fire.
Yeah, no, that was a hit. That was a hit for sure. That one was done real quickly as Kleenex 4-1 now. 4 straight for him as well. Scrap and him have the team in the backpack right now. They have 8 of the 9 kills currently. Beans is back, but his search and destroy prowess not yet helping. He's looking for his first. We'll see if they can now make a play over towards B. They got 3 other players here looking for the opener. Great shots there for Priest. A Scrap nearly fried him.
I think that's a bit of an ego chow there from Scrap. He's just really your info guy. I mean, you'd
like
love for him to get in some info. And his first shots are on the player inside of the pool, but then he's like ready for the next gunfight. It's just, again, your one job there is to get the info and play the 4-on-4, but it's Scrap.
It reminds me of, honestly, like poolside raid, like the one guy that would play back. Get the info, just don't die.
Yeah.
Like, and when you die, things fall apart very, very quickly. Like, there's some, listen, the map's not raid, but there are some similarities just in kind of how it's laid out. But that reminded me of that. Like, we used to always say, like, you can't die in that spot. Remember, like, Zenny would always die in that spot, then Toronto dropped him and they got good?
But yeah, no, he can't die there.
That is true, Joe. It was definitely an ego check. He came out like bunny hopping, like trying to find it. Almost absolutely zapped one. We'll be tied up 2-2. Yeah, a little 2-2 split now for Toronto Ultra. Yeah, you've got all 4 just hitting it defensively over towards A. So the 2 players from Toronto trying to just get out with their lives. You've got a free site. One can't get out. Scrap maybe a chow he didn't need to take because that's a 1 versus 3.
It's the same thing. Yeah, that sort of island player, your job, you have it. They have the B bomb site. I mean, you'd love for him to get one. If he gets one, it looks good. It's just that now you don't. Now it's a 4 versus 3. You put your team into a tough spot. The good thing is bomb is down, so time working against Boston Breach. Kleenex in a bit of an off angle. You would think a quick trade. There it is. And there is the swarm, the double from Snoopy. Envoy, though, gets behind enemy lines. He's going to have a chance here. Opts to just go for a gunfight, maybe get a freebie. Not going to see it. That's the problem. And, well, there is the retake. And yeah, you weren't wrong. Just Scrap. He's playing for 1.
Yeah, he kind of sacrifices himself so Envoy can get out, too, I guess. Like,
no, you should just run.
Yeah, I mean, Envoy was able to, right? Like, we just didn't see what their POV looked like when the push came in. Like, if they got eyes on all 3 that were up front, like,
I mean, all it is you see the smokes, you see the trophies go down, and that's it. Like, that's the info that you need from the Ultra side. And, you know, his players are hitting pool. Like, all right, we don't see anything. We're going to start to hit this bomb. But a couple of rounds now where Scrap gets caught, and now it is a 1-round lead here for Boston Breach.
Gets caught like old Young Bo's 10 toes, Joe. You know what I'm saying? You probably don't, but here we go. Boston Breach working over towards
they all
A.
have 10 toes? Oh, yes, not all of us, but...
Honestly, I got no idea. Zenny texted me because I roasted him and then asked me to do that.
Okay.
But now, Bob, we're working up towards A. Love you, Zenny. As they go to get this down, Nade's gonna hit. Beans will drop. Plant won't go through. It was close, but Priest now he'll take his shot.
Yeah, no trophy. So double Nade's gonna hit from mid. They are gonna play for this. He should jump down to Snoopy though. What kind of timing does he get middle of the map? Watch that number 5. Here we go. As Denny is up, able to find the first and the second, but his teammates drop, so 1-on-2. But he has the cruise now. He has the cruise. He can opt to use this if he wants to. Nade in hand. Oh, and the nade works past it, and he's gonna get caught. So Snoopy not able to clutch on up, but again, that first blood leading to a round win.
Woo! To 3-3 we go. You'll have the cruise, as you mentioned. Snoopy popping off a little too much work to try and do there, but we'll see when maybe that comes to play as we get deeper into this surge.
Yeah, what was there, 20 seconds left? I'm a bit surprised he doesn't use the cruise, but...
I think when you call it right around that, yeah.
But maybe they just want to use it in a safer round. Doesn't want to risk it.
Honestly, with him on the heater, I kind of thought, well, I guess the fact he still had utility maybe, just thinks maybe he can play with the nade if he's able to get a good hit on that.
Yeah, it just flew over.
Yeah.
It's got a cannon for an arm.
A different story if he lands a good one, though, probably. All right, here we go. All 4 this time will play as a unit for Ultra on offense. No more 2-2 split. Maybe somebody getting caught. We'll see what they do behind this. But 8 for now. Open. Priesta is jamming out in the club.
Yeah, there's your info play from Priesta, just watching that cross. Now his teammates mid-stairs gonna start to work over towards A. Bomb's not gonna be planted. And Ultra gonna opt to take this fight middle of the map, so they just get caught. You had the bomb site, But they're like, let's hit mid. Maybe we catch a timing. Instead, they got caught.
Insight now. 1 versus 4. He's had some wild search and destroy rounds. Some crazy clutches in his history as a player, but very tough spot now. 1 down, though. Chow's the next. Knew he had a tag or two. Thought maybe he could take it with a pistol. Not able to do it.
He's shooting well.
Yeah, he's shooting.
Up to 4 for Boston Breach.
Yeah.
Up to 4. Nice little rotation play there. They don't get caught by Ultra. Ultra's just trying to find that timing as they transition on through.
I mean, you're fortunate in some ways. Like, you know, you're playing some of Ultra's maps that aren't great. This is your chance to really capitalize, maybe get a search win, but nothing is really good for you right now when it comes to search. So even though Ultra's working on stuff, like, you're working on everything too if you're Breach, right? So didn't expect them to come in here and dominate, but look, tracking back to get bombed now. That'll be Priest, so that'll pick it up.
All right, so he's going to use a cruise the way he's playing this, so he's going to call it in. What is he going to find behind this? His teammate's going to start to work over towards B, and he's going to hit inside. So nice first blood with the streak.
A beautiful view there from up top as the cruise comes in.
Now, Ultra want to go. They're trying to catch Snoopy on the flank quickly, and they will. So behind that, because the bomb wasn't already up towards B, bomb's not planted. The cruise turns into a 1-on-3, and these are the rounds we are talking about that have played Boston Breach. They use the cruise, they have all the info, and then Ultra just punch him in the face.
That was actually physically painful to watch. But almost like how I said that first round, it was like great to get aggressive after, you know, Amba got the first pick mid and they had to be very decisive with it. Like, Snoopy calls a streak, they know he's towards spawn, right?
Yep.
So they just go at him. Now, the other side of it, Scrap just pieces him up. But, like, I like that. Like, isolate them quick. You know he's behind the rest of his squad. So great decision there from Ultra. But still, it's just, you got information, you got a kill, you got a first blood, you're leading in the search and destroy. We're creating new ways to lose rounds.
Yeah, just great reaction from Ultra. If they know bomb's not planted yet, like, they're going to be working towards B. Let's catch them on that setup, and they did.
They did, yeah, they certainly did. Now, trying to go forward like the hammer again. As they'll get onto A, trophy out, bomb getting planted. Two people can attack this from mid.
Yeah, big trophy from Scrap there, saves him.
I mean, how often do we see where it gets down just a second too late?
Yeah.
Oh my God, we're dancing in the smoke. Scrap can't hit the shots his teammates do, though. His teammates light up everybody as the POV for Scrap looks like a horror film. For the rest of them, though, they got the gunny, they got the lines of sight. It's all vibes and smiles now for Ultra. As the 4-3 lead for Breach, now a distant memory.
And this is just sort of mid-game adjustments, right? You're seeing it here live from Scrap. He switches it up to the rival, pulls out the trophy for CleanX so they can get the bomb down, but then knows how have they retaken this bomb site time and time again. It's a smoke. If they want to play in these smokes, I'm going to pull out an extra rival and get Mixie.
Yeah, literally, he's basically chest bumping two players. Like, it looks so awkward there. Like, he just starts shooting at the ground, but like, he's at least able to call. There's people on me. Teammates got the line of sight. They'll be able to take it down. He's on 4 straight. After that massive round 8, he had just a couple rounds ago.
So there's some info here. They hit a stun over towards B. That slows this down, but now Envoy's going to hear so much. Trophy down, bomb being planted. They're going to try to, I thought maybe go as he was planting, but now you're waiting on Scrap and CleanX on the opposite end.
Beans with an opening pick, gonna get them to around 11, sending it to forwards. Envoy snaps back. Oh, nearly a triple, but Snoopy able to win that fight. Now 30 seconds to go. Scrap gets another on 5 straight. Snoopy to 1 versus 2. The map hinges on him. He's 10-6. He peaks, he drops. It's an Ultra victory, and it's 0-10 in search and destroy for Boston Breach within this qualifier, and the total stretch now is out to 13 straight, which matches the worst I could think of in the short time Easy Mac and I talked. Like, you are in territory of some of the worst search and destroy stretches we have ever seen in Call of Duty esports.
Yeah, and again, it's just behind rounds like we saw in round 8. I mean, you go back and maybe say Snoopy should have used the cruise in that 1 versus 2. I think there was a chance there, but the cruise connects. It's just, again, what do we do after that? And Ultra they get the 2 right. Scrap finds that 2-piece. Then they make those adjustments, and I think over towards that A site, attacking teams might, you know, we saw it on like Invasion and whatnot, where you put a trophy to block a smoke retake. Might have to start being the play just to stop that smoke from going down.
Well, I know there's a couple times like before I honestly realized that was happening, like where I like looked at them like, why are they playing like that? And you'd be like, because they ate the smoke. What do you do? Like on the fly, you've got to make a major adjustment because your whole retake strat, your whole strat to cross a gap is gone, and suddenly everything you had thought's out the window.
There you see 10 from Snoopy, 10 from Scrap on the opposite side. First bloods, you have the most first bloods. If you are Boston Breach, just a couple of rounds that have played them, do it again.
Yeah, it's just, you know, a lot of the searches, I mean, I don't have every one over this stretch sitting in front of me, but just the ones I can think that we've commentated.
A lot of
like,
6.5, 6.4.
Yes, it's been a lot of like really close search and destroy, and there's always like a round or two that you're like, ugh, that one hurt. Every one, it feels like deja vu.
No, I mean, I'm sure for this, like, listen, they're working on this, right? They're coaching, they know how important it is to win search. These loss streaks in game after game where this sort of stuff happens, it's tough, man. It really is. So.
Yeah, and I'd ask you, you know, if you'd work through that, but it's so different nowadays. You didn't have the coaching staffs like we do now. The VOD prep, like you weren't sitting down with Ronaldo and watching 3 hours of gameplay, were you?
Nope, wasn't happening.
Okay, well, that's going to do it for us. It's 0-2 hole for Boston Breach. We'll see if they can bring it back. Toronto Ultra looking to control this one and win 3-0. It's control up after this quick commercial break.
Upgrade your game with the Scuf, the official controller of the Call of Duty Week. The Call of Duty Week is brought to you by Monster Energy, the official energy drink of the CDL.
The Cataclysm Pack is available now. This bundle includes the Cataclysm Operator Skin, Dystopia Weapon Blueprint, Iron Lung Charm, Vroom Animated Calling Card, Alpha Vinyl Guiding Light Emblem, and Scratch Tally Weapon Sticker. Use these items in both Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 and Call of Duty Warzone. Available in store now using Call of Duty points.
Craziest play I have ever seen in my entire life. I don't know if anything will ever stack up to this play.
I mean, I can't believe he had time to reload for the first one. I mean, part of that at all. And the fact that Priesta accidentally mantles the Godheady.
Now, as hot as the game may seem, I know one thing that won't be that crazy, and that's the comms of Toronto Ultra.
We kill him?
Calm as ever, Toronto Ultra. Now to the other side of the stage.
He's there, AC. My god, top of the
Perfect, top RC, 8.
20 seconds remain.
Nice, do your thing. $20 seconds.
Down here on me.
Oh,
where did he go, bro?
be honest, the last thing I saw there on the CDL TV, I was about to take a nap. That felt like one of those, you know, you had like the fire like burning on your thing, and you take a little nap on the couch. Like,
yeah.
A little scenic route there. Like,
for a state, yeah. The only thing is that map sucks. So.
It sure does, but it'd probably be great to hang out there. I mean, hang out.
Yeah, no, it looks like a nice like vacation home.
Sure does. But to play Call of Duty,
good to never see that one again.
Absolutely agreed there, Joe. But next map upcoming in this one, Ultra looking to close it out with the swiftness as they are dialed in. Little search and destroy comeback. Nice win there in the map 1. What are your thoughts going into the control?
I mean, this has been the go-to for Boston Breach. They're 4-1 here on control throughout the stage. Again, like their respawns have been solid throughout. Surge still struggling on the opposite side. Yeah, for Ultra, obviously 4-1 there as well throughout control throughout the stage. So trying to make this one of their strengths once again.
Well, as you said, Boston Breach, this is their best. This is your chance to get it deeper into the series. You got to get the victory here, and then who knows? You can win a hard point, get to a map 5, and then, oh God, we'll see.
You never know. Any given Friday, as you're going to start to work over towards B. Try to get this tick in before the push comes on through, but it looks like Priest and Beans both able to win their one-on-ones. Stop Ultra from retaking this B Street.
We'll see what Beans is now able to do back in the lineup. He's going to have some tough gunfights ahead of him. We know how good Scrap can be on this map. He's put the team in the bag at times. He is a shooter, and when he gets set up, he wants to shoot. And as I say, it's exactly what happens. Able to take down 2. Hold on a defensive front here. Great tracking there from Snoopy, though, at close range. As the headshots come in, he's able to win that one with 2 HP.
Yeah, and this entire time, really, Priest is just 2-0. He's been holding the A Street, sort of playing that sort of accuracy role we have seen at times, where you just don't allow the defense to get to the A Humvee. So once your team is done at B, you can transition over to A, or if you get a couple of kills, you'd start to work down over. The problem is they're not getting B, and now you're 5-0 for Kleenex, trying to find this cruise.
Well, it's a weird roll over there on A. It's a game of patience.
No, it really is.
You'll be bored out of your mind sometimes, but then you give it up for a moment, and next thing you know, they found an opening onto A. But Inside's giving no openings. 2 HP and crisp headshots for him as he will shut down 2.
Huge win, though, for Beans. At least to stop that cruise from coming on through for Kleenex. So able to end that streak. Pentagram was able to work up the middle of the map. And over towards this A Street, they're going to hunt down Inside. So now it's where do you want to go here? You have 2 players over towards B, 2 towards A, and it looks like they're going to transition to B and at least get this point done.
Honestly, they were sending so many forces at Insight there with like 18 seconds left. I was like, they're really in trouble if they lose this fight on B, but they're able to win that fight and now get a minute put on.
Man, if Snoopy wins that, I think they go right to A because Priesthood was able to win another one. So you would have had 2 players quickly in pretty much a 4 dead scenario for Ultra.
Instead, that won't be the case for now. Over towards B, they're trying to lock it in, but Snoopy's able to take that one. It's going to fall to Envoy now. They're looking for his position. Position now given up. He's trying to dance. Nice job taking that one. Keeps moving and grooving in the 1v3. Envoy actually gets a second. Envoy gets a third. He's in a 1v3 mid-map after his teammate dies and kills everybody.
Yeah, I mean, huge plays on Envoy with the MCW. Snoopy saw him using the rival to try to just take control of a cafe, and if you get to the A point, you have a chance. So now that after Envoy goes down, all map control is over to Breacher on the A point, but it looks like Priesta does get taken down to Scrap takes down 2.
That was a hell of a play from Envoy, though, because like he saw 2 slide across, like shot too early, so they all turn on him, and I did not think that was going to turn into him, like getting 3 one-on-ones. I'll tell you that. Scary for a moment, but they come back off spawn. They're able to fry. You got 5 seconds left to work with. It looks like it's just going to be the 3 ticks for this round, and that will be the case.
Could have been better, could have been worse. I think for Boston Breach, there was a chance where they got trapped. You end up Kleenex with a cruise missile. Maybe it calls in round 1 just to not allow you to get all 3 ticks, and then you would have been put in a really tough spot for like a round 5 defense. But they're able to get out of that trap, get B, then had 1 opportunity on A.
No, I think that Beans gunfight, not only the streak, but that's like how they actually ultimately got out and got to
Yeah, it
B.
opens up mid, right?
Yeah, if they didn't do that, then yeah, could have been a whole lot worse because there was 18 seconds or something on the clock. You were in a world of trouble, but a couple big gunfight wins, they're able to do it. Now we'll see what Toronto Ultra can do on offense. 1 lurking A side, that'll be Scrap. And I mean, I kind of love that because, you know, it's like it's a tough one-on-one win, and you might be able to get on A and just kind of turn heads. So who else would you rather have taken that fight than Scrap probably on this map?
Well, he's going to have that one-on-one. He's trying to find beans. He's trying to find the angle. Maybe he's giving time to his teammates. His teammates are fighting, and there we go. Now it's chaos all around the map. The last player alive is going to be Snoopy versus Insight. And, well, Breach off spawn. I love that back down from Snoopy to find an advantage. You run out of ammo, and it stops them from B. Now over towards A. Envoy is here with the rival. This could be big. He opts to pull it out after the respawn. There is a quick trade.
Nice win.
Oh, the Renetti headshot.
8 HP. Might be able to get the second tick here himself. It's so close to being done, and it did go through?
Yeah, it got through.
Okay, it did go through. I wasn't sure at first. But that's like, that was a perfect example of, like, we were talking about that A street. Like, it's a one-on-one, bro. You win that, chaos ensues.
Yeah, and the good thing was at the same time, you traded out over towards B, so your teammates off spawn. It was just like a foot race. It's an equal foot race over towards A with Boston Breach. So they had numbers, and now you're done with B. You only need one tick. Well, you're not done with B quite yet. Now you are.
You have 2 minutes to get one tick. That's about one of the better scenarios we've ever seen on offense on Invasion.
Yeah, now Boston, I think they're just going to have to get aggressive. You need mid-map control here. You have to set up your layers and try to put Ultra in a trap here.
I'd have to see that again from Beats POV too. Like, usually, like, you have to win a really tough fight to win that one-on-one. Like, Scrap was able to get really far up the street before
Well, it's like he checked it, and then he started shooting towards DVD side.
Yeah, well, there's a lesson in maybe keep an eye on the A street.
Yeah, no.
Because you shouldn't be able to waltz up and get that. Like, and shoot him in the back. That shouldn't happen.
And just the way Scrap played, he must have just been like hiding behind something. Is now they're going to try to get this A point. You have Envoy all the way through. It's one player on it. Priest is going to have no idea. Hello? Now pressure on Breach.
Once again, the opener's there. Kleenex, he gets a triple, and the round is done. That was a convincing one. Woo!
Just right from the break, right from the get-go. We saw them set that up.
This was clean.
It props to Ultra just making enough chaos at B to allow Scrap to get onto the 8 point, and it just worked out well. And then, yeah, you get a pop-off play like that from Kleenex.
Yeah, it looked like he was a pub chasing red dots there, just like slide chow. Like, some of the players weak, but it was clean. It looked good there for Kleenex, and you get the round victory. As Boston Breach in trouble of getting 3-0'd here. Just a defensive hold between Ultra and a series victory as they get closer to their major. Just around the corner. Nice start, though, here for Boston Breach as Pentagram able to get 2 on offense early.
They're going to play around this map control. You're going to set up Snoopy behind Treehouse. Just trying to find a couple of players off spawn. Only one player on B. And again, Priest is just hanging out A street. Well, that's why. He's just going to watch this connector, give the count back to his teammates.
He's dancing. Able to get away. Second bit done. Snoopy still lurking, finding kills. And now you're just kind of setting up around this right now if you're Ultra. Doesn't look like they're going to attack this. They don't have the numbers, but they're going to set up around and try to catch them as they rotate off of this. You won the one-on-one on the other side, too, if you are Insight, which you did a great job of in the first defense. Pentagram wins his fight, but he's the lone person, so he's kind of just lurking until probably whoever spawns up deals with him.
Yeah, and the way Priester was playing it, right, watching that mid-cut, they just kind of knew we can't really retake B until we take him down. So that they just opted to really get into this A defense. They're like, let's just hunt down Priester. Let's get into our setup.
And kind of, as I said there, Scrap's job to spawn up and sort of hunt down the player. He did a good job of that, so you dealt with your back line. They send everything at Inside again, and now you're trying to get out of this, but look how forward you are if you are Ultra. You have got the map, and this is the team we've been kind of wanting to see from Ultra, just dominating teams.
Yeah, Kleenex was pushed up Ice Cream, but he does get caught. You're just wasting a lot of time here.
Yeah.
And well, just sort of, as we said, setting up this layered defense middle of the map. Stun is going to connect. Every trade is good for Ultra. Why not give Insight one more?
Trying, not quite able to do it, but yeah, the trades have been there to the sense if anyone gets through, it's maybe one player and they've dealt with that. But avoiding those like 3 down situations that can cost teams so badly. Gotta hold for another minute now. They are shooting. Envoy. Looking for more. Tagged into Snoopy. He's dancing. Don't really dance too much. He's just been tries to throw a nade. I think his leg gets shot off there by Scrap.
We do finally get some B Street control right through the middle of the map, but
there's 40 seconds left.
Yeah, one player's gonna get caught. Two players are gonna get caught. And now you have to slow down if you are Beans and Soupy. Wait for them to spawn on up. And I love this. The aggression from Ultra. They know, like, don't allow them to get a 4-man push. Let's try to keep them staggered and find those trades. They do just that. You're going to have one more attempt here behind Pentagram's double. Maybe he tries to go to A and stop the clock, but Envoy's just like, I got this, boys.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Anytime they have won the fight, it's been with one player left. It's never been getting 3 straight. Scrap shooting bodies, Kleenex shooting bodies, filling them with lead and love. As Ultra, it is a clean series victory, a team that looks poised to hopefully once again be a threat at their upcoming home major. But it has been all smiles and not a whole lot of respect for the Breach side.
Yeah, I mean, I think for the Boston Breach, it's always tough when you know, obviously, Open Beans feels better, but you have a sub come in. They just made a new roster change. You're not winning searches. Pressure's on. And then on the other side for Ultra, I think you take this. Still some things to work on. Really just that search and destroy map pool for the major. But yeah, nice win there for them.
When you close your eyes and you picture Austin Liticote, is he just like in a recliner, like cigar in his mouth, just puffing away, smiling?
Maybe, but he probably wants to be playing.
Yeah, I'm sure. But some part of him's got to be having a laugh with how this is currently going once he was booted from the camp. Look at the stats. And this 3-0 from Ultra. Not a lot of positives to write for Breach, whereas a lot of their series we've casted or covered, there's been bright spots. There has been, you know, you just tell there's a glimmer that they could be a potential threat. You just didn't see that here.
No, and again, props to the Ultra boys kind of shutting it down. There were a couple of chances maybe in the hard point, but the subs were going off. Kleenex drops a 30 bomb. The 6-star, again, their first time playing it in a match. They are down 3-4. They have that crazy round with the Cruise. They made some mid-round adjustments.
You're right. The 1 and 2 were closer. I guess a little recency bias with how the map 3 played out because it was just so dominant.
But yeah, that's